So please explain Wilt as the GOAT. I'm wondering.
Because, we talk about errors. And this is unfair because you're comparing errors and we talk about errors, but if you look at what Wilt was able to do statistically, Wilt could have done that in any era. Wilt could have done that against anybody. And because he had what we call, and a lot of players don't have this today, Stephen, because of training and players specializing in basketball. Players don't have functional athleticism anymore, right? Case in point, if you pick the NBA player when they get invited to a baseball game and they throw out the first pitch. And it's like, how could this person be so athletic and that ball is all over the place, right? Because they don't have functional athleticism. Because we specialize, we play one sport and that's it. Well, Wilt was dominant in track and field, dominant as a sprinter, dominant as a jumper in track and field. He had functional athleticism, and that translated to basketball. And so, and all the movements, he could do everything. I mean, for a guy to literally play the five when centers were in their most traditional sense and score the amount of points that he scored, 100 points in a game, right? And, averaging the amounts of rebounds that he averaged, he had 55 rebound games and those things. To be able to do that and play in an era with Kareem, play in an era with Russell. So he played in an era with real centers.
Mm-hmm.
To do that, and then to turn around and say, Stephen, I'm going to lead the league in assists because you guys say I'm selfish.
Yeah.
Right. So just to show you I can do this, and I say this, Stephen, understand this. I wore 23 as a player.
Uh-huh.
So Jordan's my dude, right? Of course I was a point guard, but my formal training in playing basketball, I was playing in the post. And then I moved to the 2. And then I found out later that I was a point guard, right? And so then I morphed into the position and grew into it, et cetera. But I wore 23. So that's my guy. But when I think about, and all of these players are great, but when I think about that aspect of it, what this guy could do at 7 feet tall, and you hear like the other great players that he played against, when there's a great player and the great players are wowed by this great player, that says a lot. When other great players look at this guy and say, man, this guy can do things that I couldn't do. And I was amazed by him. And it's like, yeah, but you're great. I would have to say it's Wilt, man.
Yeah, that's a very unique perspective, I have to say.
Yeah.
but I get but I see your point definitely. So